Hi guys, welcome to Code Bashers. Guys, in this video, I will be discussing most asked Java interview questions in TCS. This is a one-shot video in which I will be discussing around 15 to 20 questions which are most commonly asked in TCS. So in this, I will be covering core Java interview questions as well as the Java 8 interview questions also. Guys, on my channel that is Code Bashers, I have made lot of interview experience videos for Ninja and Digital profile as well as for the Prime profile also. You can see all these interview experiences in the playlist for Ninja as well, for Digital as well. So I have clubbed all the Java questions which are asked in these videos and that are very frequently getting asked in TCS, and I have made this particular one shot video. So make sure that you're watching this video till the end, because around 60 to 70% of your Java will be covered in this video only if you will read all these questions. Okay, so don't skip any of the questions. Every question is equally important that I have discussed in this particular video. Okay, and I know that your Java and I know that your interview are starting from next week. So if you're not feeling confident about your interviews, we are taking mock interviews also for Ninja, Detail and Prime profiles. Okay, till now we have taken total 222 mock interviews. I have lot of experience in taking these interviews, so you can rely on us. The slots you can book on in the description box. The links are in the description box. So guys, now let's start this video. But watch this video till the end and do hit that like and subscribe button for this channel. Okay, so guys, the first question is regarding OOPS concepts. This is asked in 10 out of 10 interviews that explain the OOPS concepts in detail. So there are four major OOPS concepts. One is abstraction, then is polymorphism, then is encapsulation, then is inheritance. You need to learn every OOP concept in detail with their types. For example, there are large variety of types of inheritance, multi-level, multiple inheritance. All these are types of inheritance that you need to study. Okay, and then again for polymorphism also there is compile time polymorphism, there is runtime polymorphism, method overloading, method overriding. All these questions related to polymorphism also you need to study. So this question I will give a 5-star rating, that this will be asked in 10 out of 10 interviews. Don't skip this question. Okay, you can find answers on Google, but the main motive of this video is to showcase the questions which are getting very frequently asked and that are very much important for the interview for Java subject. Okay, so I hope this question is clear to you. Abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, inheritance, all these topics are very important. You need to study them. Okay, moving ahead is the next question, that is, what are interfaces in Java? Why static and default methods were introduced in Java 8? So first of all, coming to first question, what are interfaces in Java? So interfaces in Java are abstract data types that define a set of methods that a class must implement if it implements that interface. I know this definition is a bit confusing. So a simple interface is that which contains abstract methods only. What are abstract methods? Abstract methods are like this. See, you can see this void start. So abstract methods are those methods in which we declare the method only, we do not give the body of it. So if you will see here the void start, then we have only declared the method, we have not given the body of this method. When this interface will be implemented by a class in future, then this particular method will be implemented. The body of this method will be given in that class which is implementing this interface. So this is a simple definition of what an interface is. It consists of abstract methods. Now after Java 8, before Java 8, this was the interface that it can only declare abstract methods. But after Java 8, once the version of Java got updated to 8, then in interface we can define static methods also, and we can define default methods also. Now why we define static method? What was the need of defining static method? So first of all, while we're defining static methods, then the static methods are declared in this interface and the body of static methods are also given in this interface. Similarly for the default methods, we can declare static and default methods, and body of those methods can be given in the interface itself, but the body of abstract methods should not be given in the interface. It will be given only in the class which is implementing it. Now what are static methods? Static methods in interface allows the definition of utility methods that are related to that interface. So we know that static method, how we can call it? If we will give this stop is the name of static method, we can simply call it with the name of class. So vehicle is the name of class, vehicle that dot stop. This is how we can call the static method of interface. Next is default method. So default method provides a way to add new functionality to the interfaces without breaking existing implementation. So whenever we are implementing a class, let's suppose vehicle is there, so car class car implements this interface. Okay, implements this interface, implements vehicle. Okay, then in this case, two things need to be done. First is that this abstract method will be overridden here. So abstract method, that is start, will be overridden here, overridden, because it is implementing. Next thing is, if now we will make an object of this car class. So if we are making the object of this car class, car C equal to new car, then this default method, even though we have not declared this default method inside this car class, we can still call this default method with the help of object of car. So c dot accelerate we can call. So this default method means that if the default method is present in an interface, this default method will go in all the classes which are implementing this interface. And static method, we can simply call the static method with the help of the class name. And this abstract method, when once the class is getting implementing this interface, then that class needs to override this start method. Okay, so I hope all these things are clear to you. Now the static and default methods were introduced in Java 8 first. Okay, and then if in future Java 17, Java 21, in all these cases static and default methods are there. Okay, I hope this thing is clear to you. Next question is, explain different types of different types of interfaces. So there are two types of interfaces mainly. One is the marker interface, another one is the functional interface. So this one is the functional interface. Now what are the definition of this marker interface and functional interface? So marker interface, a marker interface also known as tag interface, is an interface that doesn't declare any method. So one line definition of marker interface will be that marker interface does not define any method. So see, this is an example of marker interface, this one. Okay, that see, marker interface, it does not declare any methods. We are just making this interface. So examples of marker interface in Java are serializable, clonable, remote. So one line definition of marker interface is that it does not declare any methods. Okay. Next is functional interface. Again, the one line definition of functional interface is that a functional interface in an interface that contains only one abstract method. So only one abstract method. Marker interface does not contain any methods, whereas functional interface is that which contains only one method, one abstract method. Okay, but as I've told you that there are default methods also, there are static methods also. So in this functional interface, one abstract method will be there, only one abstract method can be there, but it can contain, the function interface can contain default as well as static methods also. I hope this thing is clear to you. Definition of functional interface depends on one abstract method, that can only contain one abstract method, but it can contain static method as well as default methods as well it can contain. So I hope this particular question is clear to you, that what is a functional interface and why it was introduced. Functional interface using functional interface are used to enable functional programming in Java, which we done use using lambda function, that will be discussed in later this video. Okay, so I hope this definition of marker interface and functional interface is clear to you. Moving ahead to the next question, what are access modifiers in Java? So again, in every language there are certain access modifiers. So first one is private access modifiers. So if we have a class and in that we make some methods or some variables as private, then the private access modifier restricts the access to members only within the same class. Okay, so those private methods or private data members can be used within the same class only. They are not accessible outside the class, not even the subclass. So private methods are only accessible within the class only, within the Java class only, to which these private methods belong. Next is the default access modifier. Default modifier, it is what is the definition of it? It is, if no access modifier is specified, it is considered as a default access. Members with default access are accessible only within the same package. They are not accessible from outside the package. So if we have two classes inside a package, okay, it is a possible that there are two classes inside a package, and if we declare some variables in class A, let's suppose here we are defining class A, okay, and then we are defining another class B. So if there will be any, like let's suppose int A is there, then int B is there, so these are default access modifiers and these both classes belongs to the same package. So this A will be, we can access from class B also, and this B we can access from class A also, because default access modifiers can be accessed from different classes within the same package. So I hope this thing is clear to you. Next, moving to the protected one. So protected access modifiers allows the access to members within the same package and subclasses. Okay, even if they are in the different package. So let me explain you this also. So as I've told you, what was the default? So in default, class A and class B, if they are in the same package, then their modifier and then their variables, if they are a default, they can be accessed in both the classes. Now coming to protected one. So if there is a class A, again let me define class A. This is in package A. Let's suppose this is in package A. Then there is class B. This is in package B. This is in package B. But this class B extends. But this class B extends class A. Then the protected variables that are present in class A can be accessed from class B as well. So I hope this is again clear. In default, class A and class B should belong to the same package, then only they can access the default variables of each and other classes. But if they are protected variables, then class B needs to extend class A. Even if they are in different packages, then also class B can use protected modifiers of class A if class B extends class A. So I hope this definition of protected is clear to you. Next is public. Again, public is very simple. Every variable, every class can be accessed from outside the package, within the package, entire Java code, entire Spring Boot code. They can be accessed. So private and public are very easy. In private, the variables are only accessed within the class, not outside the class, even if inheritance takes place. Whereas in public, the variables are accessed in the whole Java code, irrespective of the fact whether they are in the same class, outside the class, same package, outside the package. Just the major difference lies between default and protected, and I hope that is clear to you. Now moving ahead to the next question, it is what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding? Again, whenever a difference is asked to you in an exam in an interview, kindly give at least 2 points of difference. Okay, so what is the difference between method overloading and method overriding? So method overloading is same method name but different parameters. Okay, so if in a class, let's suppose we have class A. So what is the same method name but different parameters? So we have a function. Let's suppose we have a function void run and int A. This takes one parameter. Then there is another method void run with the same name, but it has two parameters A comma B. So see here, the name of the function inside a particular class is same, both these same, but the name different number of parameters are different. Here it is one parameter, here it is two parameters. So this is what method overloading is. This is an example of compile time polymorphism. This is compile time polymorphism. Whereas in method overriding, if I tell you, let me just show you. So method overriding is the example of runtime polymorphism. Okay, so if we have class A here, we have a void run single parameter. Okay, then we have class B that extends class A. Inside this, what we have to do, we have to again give the same name void run, same return type, and same number of parameter. Just that the class B is extending class A. So and there was a one run method in class A, so we need to override it in class B. So we have to give the same return type, same name, and same number of parameters. So sorry, this is also A. So this is what a method overriding is. So method overloading was done in a single class, but method overriding is done between two classes, and inheritance is the important factor in method overriding. And this is the example of runtime polymorphism. Okay, so I hope this question is also clear to you. Try to give at least two differences between whenever a difference is asked in the interview. So till now we have discussed 5 questions, and I hope you are finding this video very useful. If you are watching till here, please hit that like and subscribe button for this channel. It gives us immense motivation for making more such videos. Currently I am covering for Java, but in future I will be covering from DBMS also, different coding questions also, from different subjects also I will be covering. So make sure that you are present on this channel. And again, we are taking mock interviews for different profiles for TCS. If you want to give us the mock interview, you can book the slot here. The links you'll find in the description box. So now let's continue the video and let's see more questions. Okay, so the next question is explain final and static keyword in Java. So first coming to the final keyword. The final keyword in Java is used with variable, method or class. If a final keyword is used with a variable, then the value of that variable becomes constant and it cannot be changed. Okay, its value becomes constant, it cannot be changed. If the final keyword is used with a method, then it prevents the method from being overridden in the subclass. Okay. If a final variable is used with the class, then that class cannot be inherited, that is subclassed. So I hope the use of final keyword is clear. It can be used with variable, method and class. Variable value becomes constant, method cannot be overridden, final class cannot be inherited. Moving ahead is the static keyword. The static keyword in Java is used to create class level members that belongs to the class itself rather than to a specific instance of the class or the object of the class. So the static variables, see, the static variables, it creates a single copy of the variable that is shared among all the instances of the class. So if we have a class A and inside that we have a static variable, then all the objects will share that the value of that static variable. It is not belonging to a particular object, but static variables belong to the static variables or methods belongs to the class. Next is static can be used with variables and static can also be used with the methods also. So static methods allows the method to be called without creating an instance of the class. So if we have a class, let's suppose class A we have, and we declare a method as static, let's suppose run. So for calling this run method, we do not have to make the object of class A. We can simply use the name of the class. So name of the class is A dot run we can call. This is how a static method can be called. Okay, I hope this thing is clear to you. Now moving to the next question. Next question is explain the concept of multi-threading in Java. Again, a very much important question for the concept perspective. Very important question. Explain by drawing this thread. So I have written this for myself. I will be explaining you with the help of a diagram that how multi-threading works in Java. Okay. So first of all, see, let's suppose you have total four processes that needs to run. So how these four processes run normally? If you think how will these four processes run? So first one process will run, then once this is uh, completed, then second process will run, then third process will run, then the fourth process will run. Okay, this is how normally executions happen. Okay, that first one will be complete, then second will be complete, then third, then fourth. But this is a time consuming, this is a synchronized way, that is one after the other the processes are running. But in multi-threading, what we do, we have four processes here. We make different threads. So this is one thread, this is another thread, this is third thread, and this is the fourth thread. What we'll do, we know that we have four processes. So we will give first process to first thread, we will give second process to second thread, we will give third process to third, and similarly fourth process to fourth thread. Now here all these processes are getting handled parallelly. See, this is parallelly it is getting handled, whereas in this it was a particular order it was following. So this increases the efficiency and reduce the time for all the processes to complete. Here if it was happening in 8 seconds, here it will happen in 2 seconds only. So here it was taking 8 seconds for 4 processes, here it will take 2 seconds for all the 4 processes, because here uh, all the processes are happening parallelly, not serially, just parallelly. Therefore we use multi-threading, lot of multi-threading processes we use to increase the performance of our application. So this is the high level concept of what a multi-threading is in Java and how it works. Okay, so I hope this thing is clear to you. Next is explain optional classes in Java. So again, very much very important question as per the interview is concerned. So I will not go into this definition. I have just written this definition for your purpose. Let's just see what is an optional means. Let's just see what is the problem it is solving currently. So let's suppose you have an object. Let's just see you have string str equal to null. Now if you will do what you will do, if you try to do any operation on this string, that is string index at I, let's suppose. So if you want char at I, so here string was null, and if we try to fetch that index, that is the ith index, then what it will do, it will give us the error, it will give us null pointer exception. And if in a project there is null pointer exception, then the entire project stops. This is what a wrong thing is. This is how, because we have not done the proper exception handling here. So how to solve this problem? See, what we will do, we will use optional for it. So we have made here, let me just change the color so that I can explain you on this. Draw, okay. Okay, just take yellow color. Okay, so now see here in this particular code, see what is happening. So what we have done, we have containing string str equal to hello optional. We are making an optional object of this string class. Okay, now for doing any operation on this string class, string contains hello. First of all, we will be checking whether there is a value present inside string or not. See here, check if the optional value is present or not. So using this if condition, optional dot is present, we are checking that whether there is a value present in this optional class or not. If there is a value present, then only we will do the operation on that object. Okay, on that object we are doing any operation. But here see, perform an action if the optional value is present. So again, optional if present we have seen is present, and we have now seen optional if present. If present, then do this particular thing, else do nothing. Okay, again there is one more method also, optional dot or else. So either we can do this thing, and if optional is not present, then we can do this default value thing. Okay, so what problem this solving, if we will see, if we have string null and we directly do str dot something, some operation, then it will give us null pointer error. But before doing that, before doing any operation, if we will check whether that string, optional of that string, contains any value or not, and if it contains, then only do the operation, then it will save us the exception in our code, and it will be a good code to write. Okay, good practice to write this code, that first we are checking this value and then only we are doing any operations. And if that value is not present, then what operation we need to do, we can define it using this or else one. So total 4 important functions are there for this optional. First is present, then is if present, then do this. Next is or else, that is in optional, if it is not present, if it is null, then do this thing. Next one is map, that is again for mapping purpose. So 4 important methods are there for the optional class only. So I hope this particular question is also clear to you. Next, moving is explain the stream APIs in Java. So stream APIs is again a very good inclusion that came after Java 8. So what does this stream APIs do? They make the they make the if I have this, see, if I have this array, and if I have to iterate this array and do some operations on this array, then what was the traditional way? Traditional way was to do a for loop on this array and then do the operations, on each of the terms. But with stream APIs, what we are doing, we have this array names. First we are converting these names into stream. Okay, then we are using a inbuilt function filter, that is filter these values based on this condition, filter these values based on this condition, that is name dot starts with a. So how many names starts with a? So only this one. So we are filtering this names array based on this operation that we have passed in the filter, names dot starts with a, and then collect collectors dot toList. So all those names which are following this condition will be collected into a new array, that is filtered names. So if we use traditional way, then we have to use for loop, and then we have to iterate over each value and check whether that value starts with a, and if it starts with a, then we have to add it into a new array. But here using streams, it is very simple to just convert that array into streams, then filter based on the function, and then collect into the new array and just add it into this new array. Again, let's just see another example. First, what you have to do here, we have to convert all these names to the uppercase. So first of all, again we are using the stream API, then you do using a map function, that is mapping every object to uppercase. This is the function that we will be calling. So mapping every name will be passed to this to uppercase function, and the result that it will return, we will be collecting it to the new string only, that is list of uppercase names. So if you will see now, filtered names we have printed, uppercase name we have printed, and this is the output. Alice was the first output of this stream, and uppercase, in this we have converted all these names to uppercase, and this is the output. So see how easy our streams API had done it for us to do some operations on a arrays or like collections. So I hope this thing is clear to you. This question is clear to you. Now moving to the next question. Explain lambda functions in Java. So why lambda functions are used first of all in Java? So only one reason is that to implement functional interfaces. Now what are functional interfaces? I have discussed earlier in this video that those interfaces which only contains one abstract method, so this is a functional interface that we have defined. Interface math operation, it contains only one abstract method, this is the one, and we have to use lambda functions to implement this functional interface. How we will use this lambda function? See, this is the functional interface, that is math operation addition. Then we are doing the lambda, then we are writing the lambda expression, that is, this is the lambda expression that is written here, a plus b. Whenever we will be calling this, and then once we will call this addition dot operate, in this we will pass what 5,3 we will pass here. What this function will return? This function will be returning 8 as the answer. Why 8 it will return? See, because here only we have declared the method, we have not provided any implementation here. We are implementing this functional interface with the help of this lambda function. That okay, whenever this operate function will be called, this is the operation we need to run on both of these arguments. So return a plus b. So whenever addition dot operate we will call 5,3, it will return as 8. So this is how a lambda function is implementing the functional interface in Java. I hope this question is also clear to you. So guys, if you are still watching this video till here, I hope you are finding it very useful. Please hit that like button, because around 60 to 70% of these questions will be repeating on your interviews. Okay, so please hit and like and subscribe button for this channel. More such videos regarding DBMS will also I will be posting on this channel soon. One shot videos on only. Okay, so now moving ahead to the next question. Next question is date time API in Java. So if I want to find what is the current date, okay, what is the current date, what is the current time, what is the current date and time. So it is now become very easy with the inbuilt functions in Java, that is local date, local time, local date time dot now. So this is why our date time API is used in Java. Okay. So I hope this is again clear. It's for the very simple basic question that can be asked from you. Moving ahead, moving ahead is what is the difference between comparator and comparable. So it is a bit tricky question. If I will start explaining this question here in this video, then again it will become more half an hour long. So I don't want to do that. I will give you the link in the description box. Go towards it. It's a very good article for you to learn difference between comparator and comparable. Okay. Now moving ahead to the next question. Explain working of hash map. Again, not a small solution. Just the theory part you need to understand, not the code part. Again, the links you will find in the description box. Okay. Explain working of hash map. I hope this thing is clear. The links you will find in the description box. Moving ahead is the explain collection framework in Java. Again, it's a very commonly asked question in interview. Again, 3-star rating I will give. It's a very common question. Okay. So see, all these are interfaces, all the blue ones are interfaces, all the green ones are classes. So we know that class implements interfaces. So list is an interface which is implemented by array list, linked list, vector, stack. Okay, so all these classes implements list, and all the methods that are present in the list are overridden in this array list, are implemented in this array list. Similarly, talking about queue, queue is an interface, but array dequeue, priority queue, all these are classes which are implementing this queue. Okay, coming ahead is the set. Again, there are different type of sets. Hash set is there, linked hash set is there, sorted set is there. So again, all these are implementing this particular set only. So on the high level, these three important classes are the interfaces, and all these classes that we generally use in our code to write the logic, these are classes that are just implementing these interfaces. Okay, so yeah, I hope this question is also clear to you. Moving ahead is what is the difference between array list and linked list. Again, the very basic question, I will rate it 1 star, but it is very basic. List and interface. Array list is a class, as I have just shown you. Array list implements list. Okay, so list interface extends the collection framework. Array list extends abstract list and implements list interface, as I have told you. List cannot be instantiated because list is an interface. We cannot make objects of interface, but array list can be instantiated because it's a class. It's a class. Okay, so again, major 2 to 3 difference are this only. Difference between array list and linked list. Moving ahead to the next question, I hope you are finding these videos useful. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you have not done it till now. Last question of this video is, of this one shot video is, what is the difference between double equivalent to operator and dot equals method in Java? So I have written this code for your reference. If we have two strings s1 and s2 and we are comparing s1 double equivalent to s2 and s1 double equivalent to s3, so if we compare s1 double equivalent to s2, then it is returning false. Why it is returning false? Because double equivalent to operator compares the references, compares the address of that variable, address. So since in s1 we are doing new string, so it is forming a separate place in the memory, and s2 we are doing new, it is forming new space in the memory, and s3 again is pointing to s1, so this one will be pointing to this. So therefore, when we are doing S1 double equal to S2, so it is matching the references, and since S1 and S2 are at the different memory location, their reference does not match, therefore it will return false. Whereas S3 is again pointing to S1, so once we are doing S1 double equal to S3, then it is returning true because both S1 and S3 are pointing to the same memory location. This is the difference between double equivalent to. This is what double equivalent to does. Now talking about what dot equals does, dot equals actually compares the content of that object. So if we're doing s1, s2, if we do s1 dot equals s2, then it will return true because it actually does compare the content of the object, not the references. So this is what a difference between a double equivalent to and dot equals operator are in Java. So these are all questions that are very frequently asked in Java in the TCS interview. I hope you liked this one shot video. Please write in the comment section that for which subject you need next. I will be happy to make it. So guys, this was it. Thank you for watching this video, and do hit that like and subscribe button for this channel, and do book the mock interview with us if you are not feeling confident about your interviews. The links you will find in the description box. Thank you for watching this video.